So let's go back to the beginning. So we talk about going as wide as you can, find a position where you find some comfortable stretch and you back off. And then we did the rocking from here, going far both ways, 10, 15, 20 times. When it feels like it's getting loose, maybe you're gonna already move the knees out. If you're not ready, by all means, just stay there, don't force it. But once it feels easier, you go to the floor, you keep your chest upright, and you do the same thing. Now I'm simply closer to the ground, so it's easier to control. Then we talk about taking advantage of that, stopping where the hips are aligned with the knees. You're gonna do a contract, relax. You breathe in 5 seconds, you squeeze for 5 to 8 seconds while holding the breath. Then you breathe out in about 10 seconds. So it's a relaxed breath. It looks like this. You should have a relaxed session there. If you squeeze too hard and this starts happening, you're gonna hurt yourself, okay? You do that 5, 10 times while you can still alternate with the rocking. When you finish the contract, relax 5 times at least, you rock again. Then from here, you're gonna drive one hip to the ground. If I'm gonna drive my right hip, I'm gonna move my elbows to one side and I'm gonna bring my hip, like if my heel wants to touch my shoulder. Now if I squeeze my glutes, notice what happens to my hip joint and my knee.
You're squeezing both glutes?
I'm squeezing my right side.
Right side, okay.
Yeah. As a result, because my quad has a shape on the front, so kind of like a ditch, if my hip comes to the ground, look at what happens to my knee. I am not trying to lift my knee. It's just like if you have a dish on the table and you push one end, the other one comes up because the quad has mass. So there is a space here, there is a mass here, right? So if the femur has to rotate over the quad, that's why the knee comes up. But don't intentionally lift the knee because you're gonna get a hamstring cramp. That is not the goal. It's the glute contraction, okay? So from here, I'm gonna do my left side. I'm gonna move my body to the opposite side a little bit. And then I squeeze that side. I like to rock again, especially when you're new to this, or if you're really cold out of the bed or something like that. As my chest stays upright, what I don't do is this.
Right.
That does nothing, right? So nothing is moving on my hip, or it's on my belly in the ground. So from my armpits, I actually push the floor away, look at my shoulder. I'm pushing myself back towards the same hip. In this case, I'm pushing myself back towards the right hip, because that's the one I'm mobilizing. Again, proud chest, armpits. Don't let yourself collapse in the belly. Over time, avoid how far you go, because you fall on the stomach again. You might have to do that at the beginning because you're new to this. But if you have to do this now, know that in the future, if you start doing more reps, keep the heels a bit closer to you. Now, if you go too close, then your back is gonna stay around it. I still wanna be able to stick my chest out. So how much you reduce this, it's gonna be dependent where you have access. And then don't forget to come out of your way the lazy way. Sounds good?